You're listening to the Wife Wednesday Radio Network. Find, follow, and like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and more. You can hear us across the U.S. and around the world on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Now, here are your favorite radio wives.
Hey everybody, it's Wednesday and I'm one of your wives, Sina.
And I'm Nicole.
We're back with a whole new season of the Wife Wednesday show, and you can now find us on every major podcast platform across the country.
That's right. So sit back, relax, and join us for this week's episode here on the Wife Wednesday Radio Network. Fuck men. Except for you. All right. So fact of the week. I have a lot of facts. It was like, oh, this is our last Wife Wednesday of the season. Yeah, I'm going to bring you
that
all the facts. Up. Yeah. Just wanted to make everyone aware that they have these days, that today is National Meth Awareness Day. The last day of November, the last day of Wife Wednesday season 5 is National Meth Awareness Day.
So if you don't do meth, give yourself a pat on the back. It's your gold star.
And then we have in 1609, Galileo Galilei realized that the moon was a landscape, not a flat surface on a circle in the sky. So we found out the moon is round.
Thanks, Galileo.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
But did you see they tore down that house across the street?
I'm sorry. No.
Yeah,
I was
the brown
so
one on the alley.
Focused on getting to your house.
Yeah, whole fucking house is gone.
Oh, we'll look later.
Yes.
Don't worry. And then 1954, the first proven meteorite known to strike a woman/person. Her name was Liz Hodges in, Alabama. It took a year of pleading with the Air Force, but she was allowed to keep the 9-pound meteorite that struck her.
Jesus, how'd she live through that?
I don't know. It had to have just hit a leg.
It had to
and not a head or a body,
because
her
all
torso.
I'm thinking about, you know how they told you when you were little, if you dropped a penny off of the Empire State Building, it would kill someone?
Yes.
If you dropped a 9-pound asteroid from space, shouldn't it kill you if it hit you?
Yes.
So way to go, girl.
They make craters.
How did it not make a crater in her?
I literally have no idea. And then in 1994, Italian cruise ship MS Achille Lauro caught fire off of Somalia, with 3 people dead and most of the nearly 1,000 passengers and crew escaping in lifeboats. It sank on December 2nd. So it took 2-3 days to sink.
It was a nice slow sink.
And then we have our babe of a man 3 years ago not dropped. It was number 1. Circles by Post Malone.
Posty.
Yes, my posty. That's it for Fact of the Week. Thanks for not doing meth.
So what's going on?
Okay, so you mentioned the brown house, which made me think of the last point on my spreadsheet thing. I sent you that TikTok of the guy in Canton eating the Wendy's.
Yes.
Brittany and I went and got it the next day.
Andrew and I tried to get it and they were sold out.
No way.
Yeah.
We went on Wednesday to the one up the road.
Okay.
And we got both the sandwiches and the fries. We didn't worry about the Frosty. It was not a necessity at that time.
Andrew loves the Frosty.
I'm sure. The garlic fries? Fucking on point. They come in a container like the big
the chili ones do?
I think so. I don't know. I never had those. But it's liquid garlic butter, pieces of garlic. The fries are super crispy.
That makes me moist.
They aren't even like the normal fries, because they have to be baked in a little thingy or something. I don't know. They're just not like the normal fries. Okay, they're on point. And then the sandwiches. Okay, I got the meatball one. She got the chicken one. The buns, just alone, are garlic buns. Okay, like embedded
yes.
garlic and herb buns, which were soft and amazing. Then I had the meatball one. It was so good. It's basically a meatball flattened to a patty. That's how it tastes, with sauce and a puck of fried cheese. And a
Yes.
puck, I mean, it covers the whole patty.
Oh my God.
It was so sinful. And the chicken parmesan one she got extra sauce. I was like, because that's how you and Cena roll in my life. It was also good. It was just basically a piece of chicken and
Like a
the
chicken
puck
parm.
yes,
Yeah.
it was so good, Cena.
Listen, I tried and got
Nothing.
fast food cock blocked.
Maybe we'll try today.
Yes.
Because,
we
oh
hit up
my gosh,
Starbucks.
I burped garlic the rest of the day, all night. It was so delectable.
Listen, last night was my brother's girlfriend's birthday party.
yeah.
Even though her birthday was earlier this month.
Yeah.
But my mom was like, hey, I'm experimenting with a new cheese ball. It's a garlic cheese ball.
Oh, what?
My brother goes, the garlic's a little strong for me. And my sister and I are like, it's fucking perfect. Like, I can taste
Adric,
garlic.
Are you a vampire?
I smell like garlic.
only vampires say it's too much garlic.
Girl, listen, I work with a vampire, okay? I swear to you.
Yeah?
So they had to do some shuffling around at work for like staffing. And so we got our float teller came up to our office. And I'm talking to him, trying to be friendly and everything. And I'm
Is
just
it
like,
Alan?
no.
Oh.
Alan's
like,
like our permanent
He's
guy.
not a floater anymore.
No.
Okay.
No, this kid's name is Sam.
They want him to train someone up at the other office.
Well, pretty
though.
much they wanted someone with more experience going up there.
I see.
And so we got this new kid, and I'm talking to him about our work Christmas party. And I'm like, yeah, you should go. And he's like, oh, I just don't have anyone to go with. And I'm looking at him, and I'm not going to lie, this man's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I would say he's in his mid-20s.
Okay.
Like, he is Edward Cullen.
Oh.
Yeah, like blonde. He's beautiful.
Yes.
And I'm like, I like look at him like, yeah, you can't find anyone to go
yeah,
with.
right.
And then, we're just sort of like, I'm trying to get him to open up because he's like really quiet. And I'm like, well, how old are you? And he's like, well, I prefer not to say. And I'm like, vampire!
I prefer not to say.
How fucking weird is that? And I was like, okay.
That's so weird.
Okay. And then so I told Amber and Alan about it. And Amber's like, oh, I'm going to try to get his age. And I want to see if he gets the same answer. And I'm like, he's a vampire. I'm like, I promise you he's a vampire.
I don't like to give out my age. That's literally only what vampires say.
Yeah, literally. I prefer not to say. And I'm like, I literally was like, how long have you been how long have you been 17?
Yes.
A while?
Oh, man. We went from Wendy's sandwiches to Edward Cullen.
I don't know how.
Because garlic.
Oh, garlic. Yes.
Well, speaking of work, I was on Mail Desk because I trained on it 2 weeks ago. And so I was on it every day this weekend. I never want to be on it every day again because it's super easy work. Okay? It's totally fine.
Yeah.
But there's stuff that I have to assign to people and all they do is whine and complain. And I have to be nice to them about it.
And we know you don't like being nice.
I don't like being nice. All I wanted to say is quit your bitching and do your job. Like, I can't help that I have a million underwriter reinstates and you got 3 this week and you just don't like working them because they take a while. A lot of people got 3. Get over yourself. I literally... There was a day I didn't have any dwelling fire applications come in. And then the other day I came in after lunch, I had 6 waiting for me. I'm like, well, fuck. What am I going to do? Oh, Lord. It was just something else, man.
So I guess since you're talking about work, I'll get my one work thing out. So we were part of this downtown project for our winter wonderland. It's something that our area does every year.
The Christmas tree.
They light the Christmas
Santa
tree.
comes down from the building.
Yeah, a lot of places do it.
Yeah.
It was just happened to be ours to do.
Yeah.
And first of all, let me tell you, 12 hours in my work building, and it's a small building.
Yeah.
Is a lot.
Enough to drive a person insane.
And listen, I was very holly and jolly. I was a great hostess.
I would be terrible at I
know.
I can do it, but towards the end I'm like, all right, get out of my fucking building.
That's kind of like what it ended up being.
Yeah.
That's why we ended up sending Alan home early. I was like, buddy, you need to go home. He wasn't feeling good anyways.
Yeah.
And then we sent Amber because she lives further away and it was dark and windy. And I'm like, I don't want you to hit deer. You need to go home.
Yes. And of course, you're the one who lives the closest.
Yeah. And so I'm there with my manager and, we close it up and she's like, we ain't even picking this up. She's like, I'll pick it up in the morning.
And you didn't have to go in the next morning. So you're like, great.
Literally. Well, I mean, we condensed like a bunch of stuff, made it look nice. But, man, it was exhausting. Day. But it was nice because like Elaine and Adric brought the kids over.
Yeah.
And, like we were giving out cookies. We were decorating ornaments. They were like coloring wooden ornaments. Yeah. And then they made jingle bell necklaces.
I love that.
And the kids were so happy. There were so many happy kids. Mm-hmm. And it was the first year that we've been a part of it. Because normally, like, we're like, business done, close. And we're there after hours working these tables, like with these kids. Everything's shut down. Like, everything's locked away. And people are coming up and they're like, can we make deposits? And we're like, no, we're not open for business.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I figured since your doors were open, you guys could come in. It's like, do you not see these 12-foot tables with cookies and ornaments and stuff?
Yeah. People are ridiculous.
I'm glad it was Alan that it happened to because he's just sort of like, he'll tell you how it is. And he was pretty much like, no, we're not open. Like, this is charity.
Yes. So last week I had a sort of breakdown on the podcast.
Yes.
At least that you guys heard. This is like a couple weeks after that you're listening to it now. Sina was very worried about me. More than I expected. I was like, I'm literally fine.
And I'm like,
I probably wasn't fine, but I mean, I told myself I was fine. But it kind of brought me out of it. Okay. And all week this week, I just told myself, I'm like, clean one thing. Do one thing, and that's it. And that's what I did every day. I did one thing. Yesterday, I cleaned my playroom.
And your life is better.
And my life is fully better. Literally could care less about the rest of the house. I went through toys that I were going to be donating. Titus helped, which is a great thing because now he knows we're getting rid of these toys, why we're getting rid of these toys. The hardest thing for Titus to get rid of, yes. Guess what the hardest thing for Titus to get rid of is?
Okay, I have two guesses.
And I'm saying type of toy.
Okay.
Go ahead.
First of all, I would say a stuffed animal.
Yeah. That was it.
It's because of the eyes.
He loves
the same for me.
He's like, it's just so cute. I don't want to get rid of it. We put this little bear, dinky little bear. Literally, it meant nothing to us into the pile. And he went over and hid it behind his back, tried to walk away. I'm like, put it in the box. And then he was upset. He's like, Mom, we've got to trim their eyes. They can't see. The hair is in their eyes. They can't see.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, oh my. I just never expected that from my Titus.
Literally.
I mean, I did, but I didn't.
Stuffed animals I could never get rid of.
Yes. He has a lot of my old stuffed animals too. So I get it. But also, loosen the leash, sir. So we got rid of 3 stuffed animals out of like the millions that we have. I told me he had to get rid of at least 3. And they were all 3 were very small. So, But overall, it was great. I have like 4 boxes of donation things aside from big things that can't fit in there. And I vacuumed and I just feel better about myself.
Well, good. And I'm glad you involved Titus with like getting rid of things. Because starting that early definitely helps with anyone having hoarder tendencies.
Well, we both come from a family who didn't have a lot growing up.
Yeah.
And I feel like we both have that, well, what if I need it one day? Mentality.
Doom boxes.
Yeah. And I had that for a long time, especially in the apartment.
Yes.
Where I had no room. And now I'm just like getting rid of everything. I'm like, I don't care. If I need it, I'll buy it. But it's because I'm in that place where if I need it, I can buy it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's a total different world from when our parents were young parents. You know?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Like, fast food was a luxury.
Yeah, now it's kind of a way of life.
Maybe went once every 2 weeks, if that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, it's literally a way of life. And I think it's because we grew up not going and not being allowed to go that we now go whenever we want as millennials.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Which is probably why we're fat, but
most definitely. Oh my goodness.
So, I'm about to talk about Thanksgiving nightmares.
Okay, I'm here for it.
But because I wrote it in here, I have to say it. I had a great poop this morning.
Yes.
And I've been not feeling good lately. I've been like bloated. I feel like I've been like retaining water and everything. And so like I feel human today. And I feel great. And I feel like it's probably because I drank a Trenta iced coffee at 8 o'clock last night.
Wow.
I was up until like 1.
Emptied your colon this morning. You were up until 1?
Yeah.
I was up until midnight trying to get my fucking phone to charge since 10 o'clock.
Why couldn't you?
Because my husband switched the cords and gave me the shitty one and didn't tell me until it stopped working. Listen. He's like, well, it's been working fine, hasn't it? I'm like, fuck you. Give me my cord back, you jackass.
Listen, I told my mom she had been asking for Christmas stuff, like lists.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you should buy phone chargers for everyone.
For everyone.
Everyone.
Phone chargers are something that everyone needs.
Yeah. I'm like, I sent her links on Amazon for big bulk packs of them. I'm like, at least 4 of us use the same phone charger.
Yes.
I'm like,
literally.
You being one of them.
Why didn't I know that Adric didn't have an iPhone? Didn't he
know.
Get one of your old iPhones?
No, he got the same phone that Bree's got.
I thought she had an old iPhone of yours.
She had an old iPhone of mine until it broke. And then they got these like, they're like T-Mobile, like Edge. They're nice phones.
Yes.
Adric's not really had a problem with it.
Yeah.
Until like,
other than that text messaging last week or whatever.
But like the big thing is he's in an all iPhone group with us.
Yeah, I didn't.
Every
I
single
thought it was
one of
Mike
us
who didn't have an
iPhones.
iPhone, and then I was looking one day at D&D, and I was like, "That's definitely an iPhone." So who doesn't have the iPhone? Because I thought it was Adric who had it.
No. I kind of wish he would switch back because we have a family chat, but we have 2 family chats.
Yes, the iPhone privileged and the non-privileged.
Yeah, like the one I have. So my maiden name's Keegan.
Yes.
Keegan means keeper of the fire.
Yeah.
So in iPhone groups, you can rename them.
Yes.
And so it's flame emoji, Keegan's flame emoji.
Yeah.
But you know who can't be in that? Adric. So then we have a basic chat, which is not pinned because I can't name it.
Yes. Yes. I have our D&D pinned, even though I can't name it anymore.
It's my last one. But Thanksgiving this year, we're hosting, which just makes sense because we have the biggest house.
Listen, we know this is directly after Thanksgiving, but we actually haven't been to Thanksgiving yet.
Yeah, we haven't been there yet. So I'm hosting
Hopefully
Thanksgiving.
It was great
this year.
for everyone.
And I get really insecure about people coming to my house, as you know.
Yes.
I am afraid that people are going to think we're disgusting slobs and that we live
Listen, she does more than I do.
that we live in a filth palace and that we are nasty people who deserve bad things to happen
Every
to
Sunday
us.
I come over, she's like, I shampooed my carpets. I'm like, I haven't shampooed my carpets once.
It's just this one in here. And
I think it's just in her nose.
yeah, I'm always afraid that I smell dog
We're
pee,
gonna
which they have accidents
it.
sometimes, which is fine.
We'll test it next Sunday if we get together for D&D.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, stroke my eagle, baby.
Oh, I know. I know immediately. Where's Nicole? Is Nicole coming? And I was like, no.
Pays to be popular.
Second thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me finish
Second tangent off of the Thanksgiving.
So I've been having nightmares about hosting for Thanksgiving, about my sister-in-law coming with the children.
Mm-hmm.
And then like nobody had done the chores, like as in Andrew hadn't done what I asked him to do.
Yeah.
And then we had extra dogs at the house. And I'm like, I was like screaming. And I'm like, this house is disgusting. I can't host Thanksgiving. Why isn't anybody helping me? And was like, it has to be somewhere else. It can't be here.
Things that Cena stress dreams about.
Literally. And I've been anxious ever since. But I am like delegating like who's getting what food to make and bring.
My mom did that already.
Yeah.
She sent out a list. This is what you're bringing.
Yeah. It just makes it easier.
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh. Because we're going to have a ton of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to be baking a turkey. And we're not doing ours until 5:30 at night. Because,
oh my gosh.
Because most people have stuff early. And we know that other people wanted to go.
Yeah, I understand.
Normally, Elaine's family does stuff at noon.
Yeah.
So we moved our time. Guess whose family moved their fucking time this year as well? And I'm like, nope. I'm like, you show up or you don't show up at this point. Mm-hmm. We're going to have 2 fucking turkeys. We're going to have a brisket.
Yeah.
Teresa's making a brisket. Yeah. Like, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. We normally go to Josh's family in the evening, but they haven't said anything and he hasn't reached out and I'm not. So if we're not going, like, it would be great because Josh gets to see his family and his grandma gets to see the kids. Mm-hmm. But also it's in a tiny house.
Yeah.
That I hate going to because I end up just being anxious the whole time and sitting on a couch.
Yeah.
And letting my children run amok. And which is fine because they have 3 girls that run amok as well. But I don't really want to go. Don't want to go. So, but we were going to talk about what?
What were we going to talk about? I don't know.
I said something in the middle of Thanksgiving.
And I don't remember.
Oh, Mike. We were talking about Mike and D&D.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I'm on Snapchat earlier this week, right?
Yeah.
Total subject change. And I follow my niece on Snapchat.
And you notice she has like 8 Snapchats?
Yeah, right. So this one, we're not actually friends. I just follow her.
Yes.
And I see that she posts, hey, does anyone have a stud I can use? I'm using an earring right now. And I'm like, what the fuck did you just pierce? So I text her.
Oh, that was part of my dream last night. Sorry, go.
And I say, what kind of stud do you need? And she goes, anything but an earring. And I'm like, yeah. What did you pierce? And she goes, my nose. And I'm like, did you do that at home? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, girl, do you know how fucking dangerous that is? I'm like, you could have like gotten like all the capillaries. I'm like, you could have been bleeding.
You don't put a stud in there.
No. So she pierced her own nose. And
with what?
A needle or something. I don't know. And so I'm like, well, girl, since it's done, I'm like, I'm going to be bringing you actual nose studs. I'm like, yeah, 18 gauge. I'm like, if you did it with an earring, it's going to hurt when you put these in.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be bigger than an earring because this is what you use to pierce your nose with.
Yes.
Yeah, that whole tangent that didn't just happen.
Yeah. Back to our regular scheduled program.
I took her, I was freaking out about her having her nose done.
Yes.
And I'm like, you can't just put anything in it. It's going to get infected. I'm like, girl, it took 8 months for my nose piercing to heal. 8 months. Now, granted, I also had an allergic reaction.
Yes.
But
still.
So I gathered up a bunch of the nose piercings I wasn't using that weren't me. Put them all in a Ziploc bag. I put a couple of the clear ones in. I'm like, because if you're at a school event that they're going to tell you or to like a job, I'm like, you have to have the clear one.
Yeah.
And so I was like, Brianna, and I took her a bunch of the ones that are like the hook ones.
Yes.
And I'm like, these ones look intimidating. And when you first put them in, they do hurt. I'm like, because you're still healing. And so I took out my nose ring and I showed her how to put one in.
Yes.
And so I just like put mine back in. And I'm like, it may hurt when you first put it through. I'm like, but these are going to be better for you. I'm like, it's a real piercing. I'm like, they're 18 gauge. Remember that size, 18 gauge. And so I'm probably just going to buy her a whole pack of nose piercings for Christmas and everything like that. But, I gave her some hoops. I gave her, like the nose ones. I gave her a straight bar, like. I'm like, you need to be cleaning this. She's like, I am cleaning it. I'm like, yeah, but honey, you really need to take care of this. And like, it looks fine. She doesn't have any swelling, nothing. Like, it looks fine. She did really good on the placement, whatever. But I still lectured her. And I'm like, I told you with your mother's permission.
Trap with Lindsay Lohan.
Yes. Yes, that's all I thought too.
That's all I'm thinking of.
I'm like, she must have put an apple slice in her nose.
Literally.
Just, like, shoved it through. But, I just was like, I was going to take her for her 16th birthday. We already talked about this. I'm like, with your mother's permission, I will take you and you can get professionally pierced and placed. And so she's got the nose piercings now, but I was so frustrated. I was like, girl, you only had to wait 2 more years.
Yes.
Which seems like forever.
That's what happens with these youngins these days.
Yeah, but like more and more girls are getting their nose pierced earlier.
Yes.
So she didn't want to wait.
Honestly, if I had a daughter, I definitely would take her to get whatever she wanted.
Yeah, just get it done correct.
Yes. Literally, I will take you to a tattoo shop.
Yeah.
And get it done there because they will do it correctly.
Correct.
Oh my gosh. Well, winter started. Christmas started for me yesterday. Woke up, watched 2 of the Grinch movies, and I was like, yeah, this is happening. I'm taking down fall tomorrow. We are going to be taking the boxes downstairs and bringing them up so I can decorate literally on Black Friday because I can't wait any longer.
For us, it's normally right after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yep. That weekend.
I've been stopping myself from doing this for a couple weeks now.
I feel because it's been cold.
Yes, and TikTok is all about the Christmas stuff right now, and it's making me like I want to be a part of it. I want to also be in the Christmas spirit. But, I didn't want to be in the Christmas spirit of the winter tornado windstorm last night.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
It was very crazy. I told Josh, I'm like, you didn't bring the trash cans in and we live on a main street and there's going to be 30-mile-per-hour winds.
Wow.
He's like, okay. I'm like, okay. Go get the trash cans. So I went out in that winter windstorm and got the trash cans. I have it on my Ring video of him running outside without a coat. Snow flying everywhere. Literally, it looked like there was a tornado in my road.
Men.
If we started the episode the way we wanted to, we hate men. Except for Dustin.
Except for Dustin.
Yes.
And Percy.
But the upside of yesterday, I did go and see my grandma, spent some time with her. But the unexpected time that I spent with my grandma on Friday, Thursday, oh, it was definitely Friday. Friday morning, she calls me. It's literally 5 minutes into my workday, 8:05. She's crying. And I'm like, what's happening? She had gotten something removed, like a molar growth that was on her back that her bra would rub on and get caught on and it would hurt her.
Yeah.
And she got it removed like last week, sometime beginning of the week. She couldn't get the Band-Aid on it. And it was frustrating her because she was trying to get ready because she also had a dentist appointment yesterday to get her crown redone.
Mm-hmm.
And she was crying because she was so frustrated that she couldn't get it done herself. And so I was trying to get a hold of Lindsay. Lindsay was in the shower, and of course it was a long shower because she decided to shave her whole body.
I feel that.
And I called her like 20 times. She called me back. She's like, what's happening? Your grandmother was crying. I had to leave work, I was working from home that day. So she was lucky I was only a mile away, could come put the Band-Aid on for her. I was like, do you need anything else before I leave? Because I'm going to go back to work now. And of course, neither one of my bosses were in today. Only my lead. I was like, you tell someone because I'm leaving. I told them, I'm like, my grandma fell, bye. Because what am I going to do? Sorry, my grandma needs help putting a Band-Aid on a mile away. I'll be back.
Yeah.
How silly would that have been?
Oh, yeah.
They're like, is your grandma okay? I'm like, yeah, she's fine. She just needed help getting up off the floor. But Susan, you are a treat, okay?
A real
Not
treasure.
that you're ever going to listen to this, but she is the real MVP grandma.
Yes.
MVG. Most valuable grandma.
So, with all this winter coldness,
Yeah.
And from having been recovering from the plague still, my sinuses are so sore. Like even like just like the insides of my nostrils are so dry. Like I've been smelling blood in the morning.
Oh yeah,
because
I've
of it.
had my humidifiers going, and I have another one being delivered today.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
Ugh.
My last point that I had is all I want to do is spend time with Cena before December comes and takes over my life.
December does take over your life. I've been wondering what Christmas cookies I'm going to start mixing and freezing.
Yeah,
so that way I can pull
about
out
that too,
and just bake them.
Because I'm making molasses cookies for Thanksgiving. Because I make molasses cookies all through the holiday season. Because I'm the only one who does. And I thought about that. I'm like, what if I just make a big batch, ball them up, freeze them, all that jazz? It would be so much nicer for like a quick holiday if I don't have anything to bring or I can't do this, like make them up and everything. And I can just put them out on a cookie dough sheet.
What I can't wait to get at some point is a chest freezer for my back porch.
Yeah.
I need one.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way I can make up, just like dirty my kitchen the once.
Yeah.
And make all the doughs I want to make.
Or foods.
Or
Dinners.
foods. I want to meal prep.
I know. Meal prepping is another thing, man.
It changes your life.
Yes.
But you just got to commit to it.
After the holiday season, I'm going to work through clearing out my chest freezer. And come January, we can meal prep.
Yes. Oh.
Okay.
And I guess one last thing is I can't wait for the new fast food places in town to open up.
Dude, yes. We're getting a Greek place. Panda Express they've laid their foundation.
I know. That's what we were there last night, and Andrew and I just stared at it. We're like, could you open yet?
Could you move a little faster?
And I'm like, I swear I've been looking at this dirt pile for 6 months now.
Oh, yeah.
And then Raising Cane's when it comes.
Yeah.
We need a chicken tender place. We really do.
Like a chicken base, like other than KFC, who is always busy and is only downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess that's it for me, honestly.
Same.
So what's your hyperfixation?
Bagel breakfast sandwiches. I ate one the other day and my throat did not close up like normal.
Thank goodness.
I only had one egg, so that helped, I think.
Where'd you get it from?
I made it at home because I had leftover from the craft day with my family. Also, my Slytherin hat. I bought Cena a Hufflepuff hat, obviously.
Which we're wearing.
Yes, because it's fucking gold.
Yes.
And then binging. I put binging watching shows. Binging shows. So I watched 1899.
Okay, I saw.
Yeah, it's meh.
Is meh.
Yeah,
okay.
It's basic. Do you want me to tell you the premise of it?
Because I'm never watching it.
So they're on a ship and they're sailing to this new world. It's kind of like Titanic vibes, except they sent one out the first time. It was Prometheus, and it got lost at sea. But really, it's all just this one guy doing tests on these people and realiving them and running multiple tests. There's like 1 million ships lost at sea. Like, it's weird. It's weird. It's set like back in very old times, but really it's modern day. It's just a lot.
I really feel, because this makes me think of the Bermuda Triangle immediately.
Same. And they just came out with a documentary about the Bermuda Triangle.
I really feel like the Bermuda Triangle is would be a really good place to have like a fantasy series based out of. Like, you don't go through the Bermuda Triangle because everything like crashes there and like machinery doesn't work there and blah blah blah. It's because that's where all the fairy folk are. Or like supernatural people, like
Love
there's
that.
an island there or something, or maybe that's the secret portal to Atlantis,
right?
And Atlantis is where all the magic people went. Like, who knows?
History Channel just dropped a docu about it, and they found pieces of the Challenger spacecraft.
What?
Yes,
that's kind of cool.
I know, and I want to watch it, but it's on History, which I don't have.
Streaming services, get it together.
By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this. I did get Apple TV for a month.
You did get Apple TV for a month. Was that to watch a certain documentary?
Yeah, it was not as hyped as I wanted it to be.
Was that Selena Gomez one?
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about Selena Gomez anyways.
Same, but I did find out she's bipolar and
only had one kidney. Right?
No, she got a kidney transplant.
Okay.
Yes.
So her best friend only has one kidney.
I don't know. It's her friend is an actor. She was in another like My Teenage Pregnancy or something show. And she came out recently about how she was basically forced to give her kidney away.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I thought it was going to be in this part. You went
looking for the tea.
I did. And I was let down. The tea was weak. I'm like, I bought a month subscription to Apple TV for this. It's okay. I think there's a Jason Momoa show I wanted to watch on Apple TV, so I'm going to find that this week and watch it.
You're cute.
Because Jason Momoa. Did you see his butt that I sent you?
Yeah, of course I did.
Of course I did. Fine specimen.
So, I've just been hyperfixating on food. First of all, like Sprite.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because my throat's been sore.
Yeah, you like bubbly things.
I like the bubbly. But I'm trying not to drink dark sodas. So I drink Sprite. And then one of my favorite restaurants, I can't even say they're my favorite restaurant. They're only my favorite because they're right around the corner from me at work. And they have a tomato basil soup that I would literally drink out of a homeless man's shoe. It is so good. And like I called Friday because it was going to be my long day at work. And I'm like, girl, treat yourself. And I call them before I go on break. And I'm like, what's your soup of the day? And they're like tomato basil. And I'm like, okay, I love you. I'll be there soon. Bye.
Yeah.
And then when I was there,
soup is life.
I got a bagel with cream cheese. And they don't skip on the bacon when they put the bacon on there. And then the red onion. And I'm salivating talking about it. I
haven't eaten a thing today.
Me either. Surprise.
We have only had caffeine.
Which is normally my MO. Yeah. But
when we're around each other, we're just hungry.
Yes. And I didn't even write this down. I cannot stop thinking about reading books. So I need to go buy more books. I need to buy
with the book
the next book.
Did you finish it?
Oh my God. I finished it in
Sunday, last week. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I already sent it to Therese and I was like, I need someone to talk to about this.
Yeah.
And then I also sent her the first book of the Throne of Glass series from Sarah J. Maas. And I was like, well, I need you to read this as well, so I can also.
We need to go to Barnes and Nobles together and pick a series. Pick a series together.
Listen, they have like all these tables. They're like book talk, spicy book talk, and I'm like, thank you, because I didn't want to have to wander everywhere.
Yeah.
When I went looking for that book, they only had book 2 on the shelf. And I'm like, I can't find the first one. There's a table right behind us. Andrew and I walked around the whole fucking store. And I'm like, I'm just going to buy book 2. I'm like, I don't even care because they're all standalone. Yeah. And I walk up and I'm walking towards where that book is. And I just happen to look down and I'm like, there's book 1. And Andrew's like, why didn't you grab both of them? And I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. It was not fine.
Especially because that was like a thin book.
It was a thinner book. Yeah. And then like the next one is about
you used to read like 2 books a day when we worked at the college.
Yeah.
So and that's reading it on a Kindle, not listening to it.
When I get my iPad Pro. Yeah. When that happens, I'm probably resubscribing to Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah.
Because
that's literally your ish.
I just went through so many books.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, if it's on an iPad, I can like do everything. I can have it for work. I can have it for my art stuff. I can have it for Wife Wednesday stuff. And then for my books, because it has been a long, cold winter that I stopped reading smut.
Yeah.
Probably didn't need it as much because I was actually having sex in my real life.
But still.
But I mean, I'm used to the sex in my real life.
Yeah.
And I want to go back to fantasy sex.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I feel that.
Because I'm a glutton.
Yes. It's okay.
And that's all I've got to say this week, I think.
Yeah.
I guess we'll miss you guys.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in January.
Let us know how you liked how Wife Wednesday did things this season.
Yeah.
We'll probably be reconvening for season 6.
Are we really already there?
What?
Season 6? That's crazy.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know. And look where we are now. We have quality audio.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
And that little tidbit that the dark is doing well. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's because spooky things. People are into spooky things.
Absolutely.
All right, bye.
Bye.
The end of a season.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode.
This week's show was recorded by yours truly in our studio in Ohio.
Our show is edited, mixed, and published by the team at Lead Up Studios, and our executive producer is Dustin,
aka Daddy.
You've been listening to the Wife Wednesday podcast.
Until next time,
bye.
You've been listening to the Wife Wednesday Radio Network. Wife Wednesday is produced by Lead Up Studios in St. Louis, Missouri. Sound mastering and final production is handled by me, Dustin. Be sure to find, like, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to share the show with your friends. New episodes from the Wife Wednesday Radio Network drop every Wednesday on all major podcast platforms in the U.S. and abroad. To contact the show directly, please email us at info@wifewednesdaypod.com. Thanks for listening.